Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, everybody. Happy holidays. Our topic this morning on our podcast is Stay Healthy This Winter. Empower Half Hour is brought to you by the Time to Play Foundation Incorporated, a not-for-profit 501c3 corporation with the mission and purpose to enrich the lives of others through our programs, our public awareness, outreach activities, events, and learning opportunities that further the concept of enjoying life. So every day we talk about different ways that we can just get our happy on and our healthy on. Every day we have the power to access that. And joining me this morning is our medical director, Melissa Stockman. She is an RN, a BC-ANP, PNP, and a board-certified nurse practitioner. She's licensed as both an adult and a child nurse practitioner, and she's an American Heart CPR instructor, and she shares our vision at the foundation of pre-invention, which is accessing preventive ways to stay healthy and happy. And she's done some programs with us for cancer prevention, and we have some things planned for the new year with weight. And my name is Stacy Gertz. I am our program director. I'm a certified teacher and a case-act-P. And also online with us this morning, we have Andrea, who is the young lady that I mentor that is just wonderful, striving to be the best potential every day. We talk about ways to just, get our happy on. So I also want to mention that our podcast this morning is also sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, Jody Hodnick, and she's one of our sponsors. And she's also an amazing person with a big heart. And if you need anything with Liberty Mutual, her number is 631-896-5602. So this morning we're focusing on staying healthy this winter. We encourage you to call in and join in the conversation or just listen. And just to remind you, our call-in number is 646-200-0848. So good morning, girls. Happy holidays.
Morning.
Hey. Hi. So we were going to just access ways that we can stay healthy. Sometimes the winter creeps up on us and we get either the winter blues or we feel just stuck with holiday madness or just the fact of letting ourselves go a little because maybe we're not, wearing our bathing suits or our shorts, and just different ways that we can remember that all year long we have the power to keep ourselves to be the best version of ourselves. Mm-hmm. So I know that Melissa and I have been talking about some cool topics to discuss today. And I don't know, Melissa, maybe I'll let you start with some of the ideas that you suggested to talk about because they were fabulous. And
thank you.
I'll let you lead in.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. I love working with you, Stacy. You're phenomenal. I think our bodies are like our cars. We really need to take them in and get a tune-up once in a while. Some of us take better care of our cars than our bodies. We'll take them in for oil changes. Will we go to the doctor or the nurse practitioner and get a checkup? I think it's important to certain things to go to your doctor or nurse practitioner about. And if you hear me mention, herbal things or exercise, please, of course, run them by your doctor or nurse practitioner first. Like in the summertime, we're getting enough sun usually that we get enough vitamin D. We don't need to supplement with pills. In the wintertime, a lot of us forget we're not out in the sun and our vitamin Ds are low. And vitamin D is very important for energy, for bone growth, prevent osteoporosis and kidney stones. So when you're at your doctor or NP, you can ask for a vitamin D level. And if it's low, there's supplements, pills that you can take even once a week or even once a month, depending on your level. But it's important not to just take vitamin D without getting a level checked because it's fat soluble. It'll store up in your body. You won't just excrete the rest. I think other things, too, is while you're at the doctor, you can discuss if the flu vaccine or the pneumonia shot, or for you, some people they're for, some people they're not. The flu shot, you wouldn't get it or if you're sick, if you have an egg allergy. Some people believe in them and some don't. They don't cover you against every strain of the flu, just the 2 or 3 that they think may hit us this year. And, they come in nasally or inhaled versions, which I think you're not getting as much because you might have nasal congestion. And if you do decide to get the flu vaccine, there's ones that are preservative-free. They have absolutely no preservatives, so less chemicals in them. And, there's different flu vaccines. There's one that has more strains against the flu in it, 3 strains, so that's a little better. It's usually recommended for asthmatics, people with COPD, the elder, the young, certain trimesters of pregnancy. And then some people need to consider the pneumonia vaccine as well. I personally do not give both vaccines at once. I space them out a couple of weeks in case they get a reaction. They won't know which one. Also, even the pertussis vaccine, even though it's for whooping cough for little children, a lot of grandparents might get the whooping cough, they're not immunized, and bring it home to the newborn baby, to the grandchild. So now a lot of places are recommending even the parents and grandparents get the pertussis vaccine. But these are all to be considered. They're not mandated or anything like that. But when children get whooping cough or pertussis, it could be quite bad. They're up all night. They have that high, barky cough. The best thing for that, when they do get it, is the humidifier. It will help the most out of everything you can do for whooping cough. It seems like the dry air makes them cough more. And the other thing, the humidifier is very good in the wintertime, especially if you have forced air heat. It dries out the air, and some asthmatics it might make a little harder to breathe. So humidifier is good to replace that moisture back in the air. It's good for your skin, too. Asthmatics, too,
Can I
need to not only...
for a second?
Sure.
Great points. I was just thinking when you were talking about vitamin D in the sun, it's also important to note that during the winter, we fail to put sunscreen on, thinking, it's cold out, we don't need it. And for skiers, or just especially with this New York winter that we're having, and I see that some people just joined us from Florida, and I don't know the 626 number. Welcome. If you have any questions for Stacy or Melissa, please ask. And if you want to just listen, that's great too. So I was just suggesting sunscreen in the winter as well.
It's funny. I was at the dog park the other day, and it's been cold out, and I took a picture with like a skinny top on, and I didn't realize I got burnt. And it's cold here. Yeah. Even I'm in Santa Rosa Beach, and it's cold here, but you still need the sunscreen. Anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just adding that. Didn't
realize. I got sunburned while skiing.
Hi. And I think I need vitamin D right now because I'm so blah lately. I'm feeling everything that you're talking about. It's been weird.
Yes, and you can also ask your doctor for a vitamin B12 level too. If you're tired, they can also check you for anemia, check your kidneys and liver. But usually most people are deficit in vitamin D. There's just not enough foods we have that have it in there. I mean, we fortify milk, but most of us don't get enough of that every day.
Melissa, can you ask you to mention a couple of foods that do have vitamin D while we're on that subject.
Sure. Oh, okay. I was going to go back to the humidifier thing. Well, okay. Well, let me just finish this one thought with the humidifier. The other thing is when we turn our heaters on for the winter, especially forced air heat, it's important to change that filter because that's been collecting dust and soot for a long time. And a lot of people don't think to change that. And then they're just blowing all this dirt and mold from their basement up through the vents. Vitamin D, there's not really enough foods that most of us get. Most of my patients, when I check them on vitamin D, if I don't have them on the supplement, they're low already. Milk is fortified. That's one of the good ones. Most of my patients end up taking a supplement. They just can't get enough of it in all the foods.
Well, I know in winter, we tend to gravitate to comfort foods that are often high in fat, salt, sugar. And, even some of the soups that have cream bases and things like that, just leaning more towards the healthy vegetables, green leafy vegetables, and soups that have a broth base. I know that the kiwi fruit, mandarins, banana, garlic, and ginger are all good for colds, and even the echinacea. Can you elaborate on that at all?
I keep an immune formula in my house whenever I feel run down or I'm around a lot of sick patients. And it has vitamin C, the echinacea, golden seal. Other things, too, is good hand washing. If you sneeze into your hands, wash them. Keep your distance for people. If they're coughing or hacking, keep a good arm's length because the respiratory droplets is how you can inhale them and get what they have. Not sharing utensils. A lot of us will share spoons and utensils and cups, with our children and our significant other. And we forget if they're sick, that's how we're going to get it also. If you are sick, try not to be around people that are immune suppressed. If you have an elderly grandparent or someone having chemotherapy where their immune system's down. Other things. Also, when you're at your doctor, a lot of people don't realize a lot of heart attacks come after especially men, are shoveling snow. So it's important when you go to your doctor for your tune-up, not only to ask about your vitamin D and B12 and if you need the flu or pneumonia vaccine, but also if you need a stress test, if you're a candidate for that. Because when you shovel, a lot of people that have heart attacks in the snow, they're lifting a lot more than they're used to, and in the cold, their blood vessels are constricting and even smaller. So it's either ask if you need a stress test or buy a snowblower, or I'm sure maybe a neighbor needs neighbors with the snow. With the snow is if you have an elderly neighbor, maybe offer to shovel them out, see if they have food stored, check on them as well. Other things, healthy-wise, I guess, definitely dress in layers. You can wear those skin-tight, form-fitting gloves over mittens. Layers is the way to go. You might like grandma's sweater that's knitted, but it's very porous and the wind goes right through it. You want clothes that are, not only water resistant, but waterproof is better. If you can get, a hat or a jacket or boots that are waterproof. Change those, get out of those wet clothes as soon as you can. You want boots that are non-slip. They have good grips on the bottom for the ice, and maybe that are high up because in case it snows high. Also, you can wear a ski mask. The most common parts to get frostbite are the cheeks, the lips, the hands, the feet, and the nose. So a ski mask would help that, a scarf, mittens, layers of socks, waterproof boots. And back to the shoveling, it's good to shovel little amounts of snow at a time. Don't, fill the shovel with heavy wet snow. The wet snow seems like so much heavier with that water. And maybe try to push with your legs, bend at your knees. If you have children or grandchildren, maybe have them help you, but make it fun. Have a contest. I bet I can do this quicker than you. Yeah. So
my son goes
you can
out
make
with a Rat Pack. He goes out with five guys. They charge whatever they do. Each house they make like $12 each. They kamikaze the house, and then when it comes to their own home, they're too tired. But I was going to.
They don't shovel yours.
So
do they
crazy.
Charge you? Well, they just don't do it.
No. He does it with us, but he's always claiming, I'm tired after he's been out doing like 6 houses. We're having like this Indian winter, I want to say, here in New York. So I don't even know if we say anything about getting snow. And what about staying hydrated, even in the winter, especially when we're shoveling?
Exactly. The heat dries the air out. It's even drying our skin out. Then we're using these antiseptics with like pure rubbing alcohol in them that are drying us out more. They have some antiseptics with lavender and things like that. But the humidifier will replace some of the water, and definitely we need to hydrate. We forget that even though it's not summertime, we're still sweating when we're out there in the snow, and we're still breathing out, water. And, I mean, you could do it with hot, green tea is very healthy.
And it's herbal teas if you're not into water.
Yeah, and if your throat's bothering you or your vocal cords from straining, put a little honey in that. That's always good. And people forget not only we tune up our bodies, but back to we have to tune up the cars as well. They need to check their tire pressures. A lot of times, I think the cold air makes your tire pressure a little lower, which means less tread on the road. So it's good to adjust your tire pressures. Make sure you have oil. Fill up on gas, because if the lights go out, those electronic pumps might not work. Keep in your car water, a non-perishable snack in case you get caught in a storm, a blanket, jumper cables, a portable radio and flashlight, definitely batteries that they work, a shovel, too, because you might go to work and then you might get, snowed in or the plow comes by. An ice scraper or a brush.
If you're on certain medications that are prescribed for you, it might be important to keep a little backup in the car with you in case you get stuck like that.
Definitely. And even when they're at their nurse practitioner or doctor, they can ask for a refill of their meds. Because, I don't know how many times I see patients come in and they took their very last pill that day. But God forbid there was a bad snowstorm, they might not get their meds for a few days. So it's important for them to try to stock up on their meds, especially diabetics that are on insulin and meds that they really need to take every day. Certain pharmacies, very far and few between, will deliver, so they can check into that. Now there's also ice scrapers that even you plug into your ashtray, your cigarette lighter, or there's even a spray there's a spray you can put on your windshield that melts the ice. I don't know how it affects the paint, though. It hasn't affected my paint yet.
I got that in my Christmas stocking, and I never used it. But
put it in that car. And that's another thing. Speaking of Christmas stockings, we can make these stocking stuffers for our friends and family. We can make a pack with and they actually make them at the auto store, packs that have the jumper cables in it. It's like an emergency pack. You can buy them all ready to go, or you can make your own. And then you might feel safer with your children.
Yeah, my mother used to give that to us. But, today a lot of the cars come with so many things. But I remember growing up for Christmas, she always used to give all the kids, like, an emergency kit. It warms my heart. Keep an eye on the weather, too, because you don't want to be stuck out in the middle of, oh, my God, it's a blizzard out there. I wasn't watching the weather. And then you have no food, no gas, and are stranded. But the same things we keep in our car, we definitely have to keep at home, the flashlight, the batteries, the non-perishable food, the water. Speaking of the house. No, go ahead. Speaking of the house, there's a lot of fires every year because of those space heaters. It's important to make sure you're doing all the guidelines. You're not putting it around, things. You're not leaving it on when you're sleeping. The propane tanks, and the
older heaters are lighting on fire. Fire extinguisher, very important. Right. Yeah, that was on my list somewhere. And then
go ahead.
Have emergency contacts ready, like on the refrigerator for the lighting company, the oil company in case your lights go out, an emergency contact. Have a phone chain for your children's school or your work. Like, okay, if it's a storm, I'm going to contact you, you contact so-and-so. But make sure if you don't get through to the next person, you have the next person's phone number so the chain doesn't break. The chimney cleaning, that's very important. If you have a fireplace, you make sure your chimney has open access where that smoke is going all the way out. I had a friend's fire. They got chimney cleaning, but there was a leak in the attic where the chimney vent was, and a live spark went into the attic and started a fire.
Great point.
Let me ask sports with the kids.
Let's jump over to
make shoveling the snow fun. Ice skating is good. Make sure the lake is frozen. I think fire departments check certain lakes and tell you if they're frozen. If you're skiing, wear a helmet, very important. Or if you're on a snowmobile, definitely a helmet. Brain injuries are caused by 40% of them are caused by falls on the ice. If you're walking on the ice, wear good boots with good traction. Try to keep your hands free if you can for balance. And they say try to walk out like a penguin where your feet are pointed outward. It gives you a wider base. Inside, things might get slippery because you're bringing in the snow that's melting. So if you have, slippery surfaces, maybe put down area rugs, but the area rugs need to be secured and not slip. You can buy like a non-slip grip that you put underneath, like at Home Depot or Lowe's. I know we're running low for time.
Yeah, let's talk about the winter blues because I know a lot of us.
Food, okay.
Andrea brought that up before, and I know that's something that, I really want to get across because,
sure.
I always like to focus on getting you happy on. I mean,
yes.
A lot of us do, get those winter blues. So what are some of the ways that we can...
Sure. That's your vitamin D. Also, speaking of food, when you get plants for yourself or for friends and family when you go to their home, make sure it's a pet-friendly plant because a lot of them are poisonous to cats and dogs. And most of the florists know that, so ask them to pet-friendly. Tips, filling up on water, small frequent meals, make sure you eat breakfast so you're not starving. Keep healthy snacks at home or in your drawers at work. Try not to buy the junk food. When you food shop, go around the outside of the perimeter of the food store. That's where all the meat and dairy is, and all the inside is like the high carbs. So shop mostly around the perimeter.
When we eat right, we definitely, feel better, and it's also important to get the right amount of sleep every night. The average person needs 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and if you're not getting enough sleep, your body's extremely vulnerable to illness. So sleep's very much like the fuel. It recharges our batteries, and we got to keep those batteries running.
That's a really hard one for me. I struggle with that one, with the sleep.
Having the right amount of sleep.
I
got to figure it out.
Honestly,
if you have to be up at 7, okay, then you have to go to bed by 11 to get your 8 hours.
Yeah, but it's hard to shut down. But anyway,
we can help Brooke to go to sleep. What works for me is reading.
You can. Oh, okay.
I was just going to say reading a good book.
Yes, definitely.
I need to do that more.
Definitely, you can write, you can read, you can warm up your milk, you can have hot turkey.
What I've been noticing that I do, though? I've been, sometimes I'll wake up at 2 in the morning, and now I've stopped doing it. I was, looking at Facebook or doing something that got me wired up, and now I just, I don't know, I'll think of, a happy thought and try to go back down, and I'll even take, a half of a melatonin or something.
Yeah,
but then I'm really tired. Then I'm really tired when I wake up if I'm doing, because sometimes I'll wake up at 2 in the morning and I'm just but it's this time of year, I think. I miss my son and stuff. Yeah. So I think that's why I'm just kind of the blues, bad.
Also, there's support groups too. If you, I don't know the scenario with your son if he's just away or you had lost him, but people that.
Oh, no, he's away. We just, he's
okay,
20.
He's your son.
He's doing good, but I miss him.
Yeah, people that are depressed because they lost a loved one. There are support groups at all the local hospitals that are free. Also, try not to take naps. People that take naps are not going to be tired early, and try not to do the caffeine during the day. A lot of people do coffee after 12 noon and wonder why they can't go to bed. Other tips, a lot of times you can save money. Instead of buying the individual snack size of everything to try to limit yourself to just that amount each time, you can buy, that bag of pretzels and put them in small little Ziplocs. So you're only going to have that portion,
that's a good idea.
Try not to keep it in the house. Put things on smaller plates. Wait a half hour after dinner. See if you're really hungry. Put things on smaller plates. Also, try not to be an emotional eater. If you're eating because you're tired, you're stressed, you're anxious, try to do something positive instead. Maybe do 10 sit-ups and jumping down.
How about some exercise?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what's weird? That's the most amazing thing is the exercise part because for the past 2 weeks, I guess because of my birthday and just not being with Vincent for the first time on Christmas, I haven't exercised, and today I'm going because I'm not working today. It's raining out. So I'm I'm going to the gym.
And it's so funny because
energy.
Yeah.
And then you think twice before you eat that bad food. Yeah.
Brooke is going to exercise today, and she doesn't realize how much she helps me, too, because I have told her this, but 6 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, she texted me the alphabet, and each letter represented a different type of workout. And this is great for the winter because you use the letters in your name, and I added my middle name to it, so I got a good workout. Well, they say you can repeat it twice.
That's
but
awesome.
If you put each letter in the alphabet with, 30 burpees and 30 sit-ups and wall sits and crunches. I mean, and when you're stuck in the house during the winter, this is the type of workout you could do home. My son's been sick from his surgery, and I've been staying home from my yoga, so I was, doing what Brooke suggested. So, like, we help each other so much, and we don't even realize it,
That's
we love that.
That's good.
Thank you.
But you do need support with someone. It does help and motivate you and go together. Also, there's a lot of DVDs you can pop in, and do exercises even without having equipment at home, or with just, light dumbbells and things like that. Also, with the kids, back to the food, they make their vegetables fun. There's that crinkle cutter. It shapes, when you cut the carrots, it puts those waves in them. So you can make, foods fun. And what else? Holidays, when you go out, maybe eat something healthy before you go out so you're not starving at that party and eating all the junk. Or bring a healthy snack, something you're going to like to eat,
And some of the ways that, you can, if you feel like you're coming down with something, there was an article that I was reading that said that you can eliminate dairy products, you can eliminate alcohol, you can eliminate the grains and the breads and the pasta, and to boost your vitamin C, with what are the bioflavonoids, it said, intake when you initially feel something. I don't know if that's like echinacea or what that is, but I know intake of zinc is helpful. And, of course, always increasing the water consumption. You could throw in a little lemon, and just eating less food,
and rest and sleep
can be the answer when you're coming down with something. And what else did it say? There's herbs like the echinacea. There was golden seal and grapefruit seed extract to supplement. And then there was, of course, getting more rest. And you know what, Andrea, even when you feel like taking a nap sometimes, just taking a brisk walk around the block, you don't feel like working out intensely or anything. Or like I suggested earlier this morning, maybe just stretching a little bit. We don't have to make ourselves crazy, but just it might feel better to take that brisk walk, And then when you come home, you'll feel better. And, these are things that make me feel better. And if you're like me and you do the hot Bikram yoga, when you come out of hot yoga and your hair is matted to your head, you need to put a hat on, even if it's like, 55 degrees. You need to, bundle up because you can get definitely, a cold that way. And what is that saying? Is it starve of fever, feed a cold?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the simplest thing I always say.
I treat everything different. When I'm feeling run down and sick, I pop my immune formula. It has my C, my echinacea, my golden seal in it. I try to get plenty of rest. Like Stacy said, I stay away from the alcohol, try to stay away from other sick people. I'll eat oranges or drink orange juice if my throat's not hurting because that is acidic. And I will, personally, what I do is I sweat it out. If, God forbid, I ever get sick, which is extremely rare, I will sweat it out under the blankets for one day with lots of vegetable soup, and by the next day I snap right back if I do all that.
Good.
Yeah,
so and definitely hydrate if you have fever. Yeah.
And believe it or not, garlic is so good for us, too. Garlic is good for our
immune system. Great for the immune system. Put garlic on everything.
You just need some breath mints, right?
Yeah. And, the mental
just keep moving, just keep moving. Just stay active. Whatever is fun for you. And
the winter,
meet a friend, take a walk.
Yeah.
And,
I'll tell you, Stacy, you got me going last week because I was really down and out and not feeling well. And the next day I said, I'm getting up and I'm going and just getting up and getting out. I didn't even really accomplish too much, but I just got out of the house and put my clothes on. And, I had to get my blood work done, and I just got moving because I'm off sometimes a little bit too much because of what I do for work, So anyway, keeping moving is good.
Call a friend. Share how you're feeling if you have the blues. And, I love spreading positivity, and there's days that I get funky too. I actually went out the other day to re-sign a contract, and it didn't happen for me, and I came home, and I was a little bit like, oh, my God, and we just have to shift gears. We have the power to create happiness every moment of our lives. We just have to access it, and some days it's more challenging than others. But there's always someone's call or a little exercise too. And like Melissa said with the CDs, I always say to you girls, you know, there's those 3-minute abs, 3-minute glutes. I'm such an exercise mongrel because even in little doses, it's helped me so much, you know. So that's why I always, you know, suggest that. And,
you know, the power of somebody else at work the other day, I did not want to be there. I walked in, I thought I was sick. I literally was shaking. I didn't feel good because I've been really down. And I just asked the girl, I said, do you think you could just stay with me to the end? And because usually I close by myself. And I texted her, I said, you made such a difference in my day because I really felt better. It was weird. I really thought I was sick, but I think it was just needing somebody to talk to. Like sometimes it really does make a difference.
The mind.
You know what? You could journal.
You got to help the mind.
Well, if you can't fall asleep, you could write a poem or a note or your feelings to Vinny. By the way, Brooke's son, Vincent, was one of my favorite students at American Heritage. You know, I had the privilege of teaching him reading for a few years, and he's just such an amazing young man. And, you know, if you just write your feelings down to him, whether you give it to him or not, you know, it's just a way to, writing also, it can be like a sedative as reading before we go to sleep, and it helps you get your feelings out. And, you know, and then it helps you process them as well. And
then, can I make a recommendation? When you go back and speak with your doctor, you can see if they did your vitamin D level and your vitamin B12. And if you just have your blood work. Oh, you have. Say again?
But I have to ask him, like, it's weird because they say, oh, everything is fine. And my friend is a nurse, and she's like, ask more. Like, this is what you need to ask. And that's one thing she said to make sure you ask. You know?
You have to be your advocate. Just because they say everything's normal doesn't mean they even check your vitamin D or B12 level. If you have your blood work in less than a week, you can actually call your doctor's office and say, if that test wasn't ordered, can you add it? And usually the lab keeps your blood up to about 7 days, so you might not need another needle stick. But, you know, you can always get a copy and run it by me, you know. But B12 is very important. I give a lot of my patients B12 shots, and they notice a huge difference. There's not a lot of foods that have B12. A lot of us are low, especially if they're vegetarian. And they notice a big difference. You know, you can buy B12 that goes on, you know, that you swallow. Most of the time, stomach acids kill it off. There's a type that dissolves on the tongue. It's a little better, but usually you don't absorb that too well. But definitely get your B12 level checked too.
Oh, okay. I have a question off of it. But, like, I'm on a blood pressure medicine, and they doubled my dose. And I'm kind of thinking, can you be overdosed with that, even though your blood pressure is showing that it's okay, but, like, I'm still getting, like, weird pains in my neck and, like, different things are going on that's making me tired. I'm just kind of down about it.
Well,
can you be overdosed?
Andrew,
I don't know your entire situation.
Feeling tired, right?
But it's important.
Yeah.
What?
I take two blood pressure medications, and I'm always shot.
She's tired too.
I have to talk to you guys more after the recording about it, but it's important to know, did you have those symptoms before you doubled the dose of the blood pressure? Because patients sometimes will complain to me about, oh, I read the side effect and I have this side effect. I go, well, did you have that before you started that pill? And they go, yeah. So people want to know that, but I can talk to you more after the recording. Stacy can give you my number.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah, Melissa's amazing with that. You know, we are going to wrap because it is a half hour, and this is the holiday season. We got a zillion things to do. And girls, you could call me too later in the day or whenever, ever you want. I always have to leave with a couple of resources or books. I found a few on winter health. One book is called Herbs for Winter Health by Rosemary Gladstar. There's a book called Mind Gym, which focuses on inner excellence, so you can get your workout, you know, anywhere. And that's by Gary Mack and David Cat Stevens. And then there's a book for children called Winter Magic. And it's really cool. It's for kids. It's like a meditative coloring book for like a relaxing art experience, you know, for a winter day. And the last book was What Do People Do in the Winter by Rebecca Felix, and that had a cool spin on it with Human Activities for Seasonal Change. So these are just some of the books. Of course, in today's world, we can Google any and everything. And I really want to thank Melissa for joining us this morning. She just started another new venture, and she's just so busy. And I also want to congratulate her for being recognized as the top networker in her BNI group. She's amazing.
Oh, yes.
She's also a Trump VIP International Award recipient, and we are so proud to have her as our medical director. So thanks for coming on this morning.
I'll give a little contact information for them so they can contact me.
Okay, great.
Tuesday, December 29th, and at night at like 7:30 at night. I think in Islip, subject to a location change, I am going to have like a part 2 of this. You know, get healthy, stay healthy, New Year's resolutions, type of free seminar that you guys can come to, and I will post that up on my regular Facebook wall. That's just Melissa Stockman. Or you guys
can actually, Andrea's here, but Brooke lives in North Florida right now. So.
That's fine. I'll give you my Facebook is just Melissa Stockman, or my Facebook business page is Rejuvenate, spelled REJU, V for Victor, N for Nancy, the number 8, me. Rejuvenate Me, REJUVN8 me. I try to post some of the events there. I'll try to get better at my events. I just had so many that I haven't had time to post them. I can give you my cell number as well. That's 631-275-3465. That's 631-275-3465. Email, if that's easier for you, if you guys can't sleep and up at 2 in the morning, is Rejuvenate Melissa, spelled REJUVN, the number 8, Melissa, spelled MELISSA, at AOL.com. And then once they put the recording on the website, timetoplay.com, the information will be on the podcast there as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Stacy.
Thank
you so much.
You
and Melissa's going to be doing a New Year program with us as well. It's not going to happen the first week in January, though. I spoke to Doreen yesterday. It's too soon. We need to promote it, but we will talk about it. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy, healthy holidays. Yes. Be good to you. You're your own best friend. Every day we have the power to be the best version of ourselves. And the whole idea of this podcast is people helping people. So thanks for being a part of it, and shine on. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.